Welcome back to another video. I know not strictly Eastgate related, but with the whole legalisation thing on the cards, I thought this week I'd take a look at the electric scooter new proposals by the government and why they've got it so terribly wrong. So the government have decided to bring the scooter trials ahead 1 year because of the COVID situation. While this should be a good thing, the following video is how they've completely messed it up. So they've decided to go down the route of rentals rather than responsible private ownership. So what should be a simple journey, leaving my house, jumping on a scooter and riding to work, is now fraught with flaws and safety issues. Central London is 8 miles away. I should be able to jump on my personal scooter, take a cruise down the cycle lanes at a steady 16 miles an hour, door to door in 30 minutes in the sunshine. No tubes, no buses, no trains, and no risk of catching COVID. Now, here's the government's idea. I have to leave the house and try to find a scooter. Maybe that's half a mile away in the wrong direction. Now, I live between Sutton and Morden, so Morden is 3 miles in that direction, and Sutton is about half a mile plus in this direction. So there's a good chance that I'm going to find a scooter half a mile away in the wrong direction. So I have to get out the app, find a scooter. Currently, Bird in the US, I'm not sure if we're going to do this in the UK, are letting you book a scooter up to 30 minutes before you need it. So I'd have to get the app out, find a scooter in town, book that scooter, leave the house and make sure I walked half a mile at least in the wrong direction to find the scooter. Get on that scooter and ride an unnecessary half a mile back to where I started so I could start my journey into London. Of course, then I'll have to put on my own helmet because you know they won't be provided, and in the middle of a pandemic, who wants to share? Speaking of which, did this scooter just get cleaned? Did the last rider have COVID? And am I going to catch something by touching it? You don't know if the person riding it before was riding along, picking their nose, coughing all over their hands, and then putting their hands on the handlebars and smearing God knows whatever plague and disease all over it, for you to come along and then touch it. This is supposed to be an expedited trial because of COVID, and they don't seem to have thought of the fact that by sharing scooters, we are potentially sharing COVID. So maybe I need to take gloves and my own helmet. Now I can start my journey at a whopping speed of 12.5 miles an hour. Yes, there was a meeting to decide that speed. So scooters will be allowed on the road where cycles are allowed. This is too slow for road riding and I would not feel safe at all. I know in central London the traffic can be slow, but on the outskirts 20 miles an hour would be a perfectly reasonable speed for a scooter to go to travel along with the road traffic. My slow crawl into London at 12.5 miles an hour for 8.5 miles, because we had to add on the extra half a mile for finding a scooter in the wrong direction, will take 41 minutes at maximum speed. Allowing for some slowdowns, traffic lights, etc., let's say the journey is 50 minutes. Now, Bird have been trying their scooters in Olympic Park. Currently they are £1 plus 20p per minute. So let's work that out. 50 minutes times 0.2 plus 1 equals £11. That is £11 each way. £22 to rent a scooter to get to work and back each day. £110 per week, and if you work 48 weeks of the year, that's £5,280. Now, a zone 1 to 6 travel card that you can use at absolutely any time of the year would cost you £2,600, half the price, more options, buses, trains, trams, you name it, all day, and at nights, over the weekends, 24 hours. A Xiaomi M365 scooter from a UK store with 2 years warranty will cost you just £440 plus the pennies it takes to charge. Unless of course you're charging at work, in which case it's just £440. So where will all these scooters be while you're at work? Piled up somewhere, laying around looking like a pile of trash, or maybe the tourists will be off riding them so you can play Find the Scooter again when you finish work and need to get home. So a sped up trial to save you from a pandemic will actually put you in danger. They will not require helmets to be worn. No one will be cleaning that scooter, and I hope it is not covered in some kind of plague. It might take you longer. It will cost you a hell of a lot more. You do not own a scooter at the end of the trial period. The DFT don't actually know how they're going to measure if the trial is a success or not. Will they look at other PEV like they said they would? They still don't know. To add to this, the government are now considering a maximum motor power of 350 watts. Now, for a push bike with a motor, I understand they want to set a maximum wattage limit. No problem, but you have pedals to also assist you. On a scooter, this might not work and probably will not work. You are not taking into consideration here tiny wheels, rider weight, rider size, plus some gear they might be carrying. They're going to be putting a lot of stress on a very tiny 350 watt motor. If this is limited to 12.5 miles an hour and them going slower, you're going to be putting that rider in a lot more danger on the road. Also, limiting the scooters to 12.5 miles an hour. Look at some of the cycle lanes down by embankment, they're very small, and you have a flood of scooters going down there at 12.5 miles an hour. You are now slowing down all the cyclists. This is not going to work at this speed. This is not going to work if it's rentals. If you privately owned your scooter, you would look after it. You would leave your house and have your scooter with you. Your scooter would be clean. It would not have COVID all over it. You could have your own helmet, your scooter will be fully charged, and you can get to work door to door, no problem. To top it all off, e-scooters are required to have a driving license in some form, unlike having an electric bicycle. Now, the government was supposed to be trialling e-scooters under the same laws as e-bicycles. They've brought them slower, less safe, and the introduction of needing a driving license can only mean one thing. They are able to give you points on your license. There are police going around at the moment confiscating scooters off people, threatening to take them to court, threatening to give them £300 fines and 6 points on their license. If you don't have a license, that's not a problem. So the government introduced the need for a license for you to ride this scooter, purely so any infringements, they can give you points on a car driving license for riding a scooter incorrectly. So what's the answer? Just letting people own and use their own scooters. £450 for a scooter will get you from home to work. Add a little bit for a helmet, maybe some pads, you can keep it all together. If it's yours, you will look after it. There will not be piles of scooter trash lying around London. There will not be undocked vehicles just left lying around. There won't be the need for someone to go around and collect all of this up, charge them for you, and then redistribute them in a car. The whole point of this supposed clean transport does not work if someone needs to drive around in a car, collect it all up, drive around in a car, and drop them all off in supposedly convenient places. Now, the government's request for feedback will be open until the end of June. Please do fill this in. Please do let the government know your thoughts and feelings on ownership rather than rentals. That's it for this week. Hopefully we'll get back to normal next week. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.